So, translations and apostilles. Now, we had a question from a client. What's the difference between translation and an apostille? And I thought, do you know what? This is a great opportunity to give you a sneak preview into some of the things that you receive if you are a client of ours. Now, the translation and apostilles are completely different for the non-lucrative application. Okay, so when you're applying for a non-lucrative visa, certain documents you're going to need both translations and apostilles on those documents. So let's start off with translations. Now, if you're one of our clients, what we initially do is when we engage, we send you an email. We call that our Let's Get Started email. That email overviews everything that we're going to be doing with you and all the documents we're going to be working through only on stage 1. Stage 2 comes once you get your approval. Okay, so we're talking about stage 1, getting the approval of your visa. Okay, once you've engaged with us and you've paid your deposit, we then send you the Let's Get Started email. That email gives you links to 2 forms we need you to fill in. One's for GDPR, because we're going to be collecting documents of yours, and the other is to fill out all the details we need for your application forms. Okay, we then complete the forms. We send the forms out to you. We send them by email as well in PDF, but we send them physically out in a pack. You get a folder, and then you get a document which looks very much like this. Here you go, which is a 40-page information document, which basically, albeit we're by your side using emails and phone calls and any other medium that you feel comfortable using, this document here has lots of hints and tips, and it basically serves as something for you to read through. If you've got any questions, they're quite often asked in there, they're answered in there, and it also familiarises you with an awful lot of the terminology and stuff that you're going to be using during the time of your non-lucrative visa application. So I thought, why not? I've never put one of these out on YouTube. Why not show you one of the pages that we have in this 40, which is soon to be 50-page document that we send out to you, which gives you the hints and tips. And also, if you sat there on a Sunday afternoon and we're closed and you need to look at something, well, hey, you can have a read through your pack. The pack is also there for you to write all over it. It's not to be precious with it. If you've got any notes, write them all over that if you're a client of ours. Okay then, so this is one of our documents. This is At Your Appointment. So this is page 1 of At Your Appointment. We actually explain a few different things about going to the appointment and things that you need to check. And here we explain about the translations and apostilles. So I'm going to expand that a little bit. So let's start with the translations. Now, you're going to need your ACRO criminal records. If you're applying from the UK now, we're talking about UK applicants. ACRO criminal records certificate, medical certificate only if they're from the UK, from Spain, evidently they don't need translated. Marriage and birth certificates and any additional documents produced by a UK notary. Sometimes we know that in certain circumstances clients have to go to a notary to make a declaration of their circumstance, whether that be financial or the circumstances because they're not working, etc. All these documents will need a translation. Now, it's very important that the translations are completed by a sworn translator. Here you go, sworn translator. And they must come with the sworn translator stamp. Now, it's very important, extremely important, that the stamp has this, the translator's registration number on it. So it has to be a translator who is registered to operate under Spanish law. I won't say in Spain, because a lot of these translators don't actually live in Spain, but they're qualified in Spain and have a registration number here. And evidently you will need the wet stamp and a signature and the date that it was translated. Okay, so you'll definitely need to have official sworn translations of the documents that I have just mentioned. Alright, the translation though isn't the apostille. These documents will also need to have what's called an apostille. Now, an apostille is for countries who are signed up for the Hague Agreement. Basically, they will recognise each other's documents as long as they are legalised with this. Now, we're going to move on to another one of our our hints and tips here. So the apostille is the legalisation from FCDO placed on the back of an original document. This is not the translator's stamp. The following documents will need an apostille stamp. Well, we've been through that already, so let's show you what it actually looks like. I'm going to make this even bigger. Can I bring it across? Yeah. That is what an apostille looks like. This will come in the form of a sticker on the back of the document. Now remember, for a document to be apostilled, the person who issued the document, whether that be the ACRO, whether it be a medical certificate, whether it be a marriage certificate, the registrar, the policeman who issues the ACRO, the the doctor who issues a medical certificate, must be have their signature registered with the FCDO. Okay, their signature must be registered, or when you send your document in, they will reject the apostille. When you do get the apostille, what you'll find is that it comes at the top. It says, look, as I said, it's part of the Hague Agreement. It actually says there, Convención de la Haya, 5th of October 1961. Now, it shows you the country it's been issued, what document it is, who's it been signed by, who has approved it, and basically where the seal, whether it's through, say, the official stamp comes from. So, for example, this was an apostille on a wedding certificate. Has all the certification details here. It will be given an official registration number, and you'll see a signature here of the person who has approved it. One great thing about the apostilles, they do not need translating if they are from the UK now, because you can see it comes in Spanish. So this part here actually already comes in Spanish, so the apostille does not need a translation, but the original document will need a translation. Okay, so remember, this comes in the form of a sticker on the back of the document that you're going to have apostilled, and you'll find that this will be a raised stamp. Okay, so this will be a raised stamp. Whatever you do, don't take it off or deface it. Okay, so we're going to go, get rid of this arrow. I'm going to go back here and just have a look at this. So this is what you need to see on your translations. Official translations are stamped by an official translator with their registration number, and you will see this, which is your apostille on the back of your document. It does not need translating, and that is the format that you need to take your ACRO, medical certificate, marriage and birth certificates, or any UK notarized document to your NLV appointment. Okay then, right, well I hope that's helped. Remember, if you are getting apostilles from around the world and not from the UK, not all of them come in Spanish, so please check that it's in Spanish as a subtext. If it's not, you will then need that translating along with your principal documents by an official translator. Okay then guys, thanks for watching. Slightly different kind of video. Remember, I wanted to do a few plugs for us as well. If you are one of our clients, you would have seen this, but this document here is part of your information pack that you get when you receive your application forms. You get that along with a checklist, so you, as we're going through the process, you can tick stuff off. It gives you handy hints and tips for your appointment. We've also got in there a document which shows you when you get your visa, what are the various points that you have to check on the visa, so the date of expiry, the date that it commences, checking your NIE numbers are correct. As I say, it's a 40-page document full of lots of information, and it's for you to sit there, albeit we're here to support you, phone calls and emails. That document as well, what we find is when people sit down and read it, it really helps them to familiarise themselves with the process. We even have in the back a glossary. There you go, a glossary of common terms in the back with a big smiley face, because just to get you used to what you're going to listen to, the very first thing on the glossary is modelo. Okay, it says form related to an application. Actually, it has a couple of meanings. It means fashion model. It's also called a modelo, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we go into it like that. I'm not going to go into that, give too much away, because that's for people who are clients, but you know what? That's a great document to have on you. This is one of the pages from it, and it also answers the question for our client of what is the difference between a translation and apostille. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe below if you like the channel and share it with your friends.